The murky waters of Australian politics have been stirred once again, this time by a controversial survey targeting independent MPs Zoe Daniel and Allegra Spender, both backed by the influential Climate 200 group. This seemingly innocuous poll, however, has raised serious concerns amongst transparency advocates, prompting accusations of push polling, a tactic designed to manipulate public opinion rather than gather genuine data. The anonymous nature of the survey intensifies the controversy. While push polling is explicitly banned in the Northern Territory, a glaring loophole in federal regulations allows such manipulative practices to flourish, leaving voters vulnerable to biased and misleading information. This legal gray area demands immediate attention and reform. The lack of transparency regarding the survey's origins only exacerbates the problem, fueling suspicions of deliberate attempts to smear the reputations of Daniel and Spender. The timing of this survey is particularly intriguing, coinciding with the upcoming federal election. Both Daniel and Spender, having secured significant funding from Climate 200, are key figures in the independent movement challenging the entrenched power of the major parties. Daniel, for instance, received a substantial $710,000 from Climate 200 to support her successful 2022 campaign in Goldstein, followed by an additional $400,000 ahead of this year's election. Spender's financial support from Climate 200 is equally substantial, exceeding $600,000 before the 2022 election and a further $250,310 since, according to figures from the Australian Electoral Commission (AEC) and her personal website. The survey's loaded questions, according to critics, are designed to exploit public anxieties surrounding taxation and the potential implications of Climate 200's funding. Specific policy positions held by Daniel and Spender, such as Daniel's suggestion of a potential increase in consumption, tax with compensation for low-income earners, and Spender's openness to reviewing the GST as part of a broader tax system overhaul, have been selectively highlighted in a negative light. This selective framing ignores the nuanced context of their proposals, potentially misrepresenting their stances to voters. The controversy underscores a broader concern about the influence of money in politics and the need for stricter regulations to ensure fair and transparent electoral processes. The use of anonymous surveys, particularly those employing manipulative techniques like push polling, undermines the integrity of democratic discourse and leaves voters susceptible to misinformation. The lack of accountability for those behind these campaigns further fuels the sense of unease. Guardian Australia reached out to Tim Wilson, the Liberal candidate challenging Daniel in Goldstein, for comment. His response, or lack thereof, will further illuminate the complexities and potential political motivations driving this controversy. The silence surrounding the survey's origins, coupled with the absence of a transparent explanation for its purpose, casts a long shadow over the fairness of the upcoming election campaign. This incident serves as a stark reminder of the crucial need for robust legislative measures to prevent the abuse of anonymous political campaigning. The current regulatory framework is clearly insufficient, leaving a significant gap that allows for the manipulation of public opinion through deceptive means. This lack of accountability threatens the very foundation of democratic participation, demanding immediate and decisive action from lawmakers to ensure a level playing field for all candidates and protect the integrity of the electoral process. The ongoing silence surrounding this controversial survey only amplifies the need for transparency and accountability in Australian politics. The question remains, who is behind this manipulative tactic and what are their ultimate goals? The answer is crucial for upholding the principles of fair and honest elections.